Super unemployed. I'm Nate Pizzolatto. I'll be the headliner for the Caucasian portion of the evening. Gonna see if I can out-sweat Patrick while I'm up here, but he set such a high bar. Great host, great host. So, recently I've been seeing these PSAs about texting and driving, saying it's just as dangerous as drunk driving. But I read those and I'm like, well, that just sounds like practice. All right, a few chuckles. I guess some of you Ubered here. You let it loose. It's okay. It's just a joke. I don't really practice drunk driving. I grew up in Louisiana. I don't have to anymore. It's actually our state sport. People don't know this, when you get your license, you have to practice a drunk driving test. You have to get home from your favorite bar at twice the legal limit. And we get our license at 15, and yes, we're expected to have a favorite bar by then, so. Hey look man, that's just where I'm from. See, I was a little wilder in my younger days. I think one way you can tell how you're doing in life is what the people you know haven't seen you in a while say about you. 2005, this happened to me. Went home, had longer hair, kind of longer hippie hair, beard. Went home, visited my mom. First thing she says to me, "You look like Charles Manson." Which, I know, rest in peace, King, but I don't think she meant it that way. Like I said, long hair. I suggested maybe she meant Jesus. She got real mad at me. I'm sorry, would you like to, go ahead. Making business deals, Saturday night. Make sure it's not his side piece, right? Hey man, Saturday night, 11 o'clock, who's calling? I'm just fucking with you. I'm sure that's totally not the case. Okay, so back to, but yeah, Charles Manson and Jesus. That's the thing about my mom, she didn't like that because she's super Catholic. Like, even for Louisiana, like old school, like, pain, suffer for your sins type Catholic. She's so Catholic, she only buys single-ply toilet paper because she looks for every opportunity to punish herself for the Lord. Sorry, I should have timed my joke so that I could space the beats in between your ringtone. I'm sorry, everybody. We got that figured out? We're good? All right. Never had a chance to suffer for the Lord, and we got in fights about it. I'd always argue that she should buy better stuff, and she'd just always say the same thing every time: offer it up, offer it up. One time she got so mad at me, she grabbed the biggest crucifix off the wall, started waving it in my face, and said, "Shut up about the toilet paper. Look how many holes Jesus bled out for you." Yeah. Great. Oh man, you guys are a great crowd. Everyone's right. I've already hit drunk driving and buttholes, and you guys are with me all the way. You guys are excellent. You know what's funny though? Charles Manson wasn't even the worst thing someone told me that year, because a couple months later I went out to a bar, saw a friend I hadn't seen in a while. He told me, this is a direct quote, he told me, "You look like Jim Morrison in his last days." Alright, I take it most of you know what happened to Jim Morrison. If you don't, that's basically like going up to someone and being like, "Wow, you seem like you'll be dead in a bathtub by the end of the year." As you can see though, the joke's on him. I was actually only in the hospital for 2 weeks. Yeah, that actually did happen. So I kind of cleaned up my act after that. Stopped doing cocaine, but I kept all the shirts I bought. These days look a little less like Jim Morrison, a little more like Jim Morrison ate Jimmy Buffett. Before and after photos go straight from light my fire to cheeseburger in paradise. It's like I like to tell people, I do this for the culture, to let them know what a fellow looks like eating Kenny Rogers Roasters. A few of you might get that. Those of you that don't, the Jay-Z joke. Speaking of Jay-Z, if Jay-Z was a scientist, do you think he'd call water H2 the Izzo? Alright, a few of you paid attention to chemistry, that's good. But that little joke I made, there's something I've been thinking about. White people, if you want to sing along with rap, instead of saying the N-word, say fella. Same number of syllables, same cadence, sounds the same. Yeah, it's kind of a goofy word, but you're already a white person rapping. something else I've been thinking about recently regarding, like, I don't know how to put this. I'll just jump right in. How come blindness is the only disability that blues singers ever have? A few of you get this. I don't know how many of y'all listen to the blues. If you look through it, it's a history full of guys with names like Blind Willie McTell and Blind Lemon Jefferson and Blind Buck Fuller, but always blind, no one else. Where are the other disabilities? You know, the blues is supposed to be about pain and suffering. There have been other conditions in the history of the world. I think we're kind of it's kind of an exclusionary form. You know, and I think I'm realistic. I'm not expecting there to be a deaf singer or a guitarist with no arms, but nothing but blindness? I mean, look, I'm not saying this to be racist, but I know a little bit about life insurance and actuarial tables, and an over 100-year history of an African-American art form. There's never even been one diabetes Willie Jackson, or, you know, goutish George Jenkins, or sciatica Sonny James. We get stroking by Clarence Carter, but not stroked out Stevie Williams. There's one musician I like a lot, though. Dead Albert Perkins. Y'all ever heard of him? Makes sense you wouldn't. He's kind of an underground artist. Yeah, I love him, though. He taught himself to play guitar 6 years after he died. He's sick. Actually, he's better than sick. He's dead. Alright. You guys have stuck with me this long. Something else I want to talk about, a little more adult themed. You know, pornography's become pretty mainstream, especially in the era of the internet and stream video and stuff, and that's cool, but there's still just some stuff about it I don't get. That's what I don't judge, you know, but there's some things I don't understand. First of all, why does every porn site have ads for boner pills? Look, I'm not on the porn site because I can't get a boner. I'm on one because I have nowhere to put it. Hey, what? How's that gonna help me get a date? Am I just supposed to pop like this fake Cialis and like go outside and talk to women? Yeah. Try to get a date that way. The only thing that's gonna happen is you end up on the 6 o'clock news. Another thing I don't understand: comments on porn videos. Maybe it's because I'm old-fashioned. Maybe it's that Catholic guilt I was raised with. But you know, I come from a time where we didn't talk about our loads to each other as men. You know, when we watched porn, you know, we got porn, we either had to find it in the woods or have it handed down from some family relative or some friend's brother or whatever. Or even, you know, there's a time when you bought magazines, you'd buy them in the store with no windows. They'd always be wrapped in plastic so you couldn't look at them. You didn't talk to the other people in the store. You both avoided eye contact, you made your purchase, you got the brown paper bag, and you left. But now you log on and it's full of, just like, oh, that was the biggest load I busted in weeks. Thank you, baby. Or people like hitting on the porn star like she's reading them. But what really confounds me about this is the question, when do you leave a comment on a porn video? Because if you think about it, you'd have to do it before you watch it, while you're watching it, or after you're watching it. I think we can throw it before you watch it because you haven't seen it yet. While you're watching it, pick the first person to stop beating off so they can type something on the internet. The next person to do it's going to be the first, right? So that means after, which means either as soon as you bust, you've got to get back on that keyboard and be like, I got to tell someone about this right now. I'm not even going to bother cleaning up. Or it means you wiped up, got up, went to the sink, washed your hands, came back, put your pants on, and you're still like, I got to tell someone about this. Shit, all right, how much time do I got?
1 minute.
1 minute, okay. Well, then I'm going to move my closer, which is good, because, you know, it's a really politically fraught time in America, the Me Too movement, and that whole Brett Kavanaugh thing, and sometimes you just got to take a stand, even if it's not a popular one. And that's why I'm up here. I want to tell y'all that I'm a male feminist. See, the fact that nobody reacted is exactly why I need to say this, exactly why I need to come up here and be so brave to tell y'all that. Being an extremely woke ally, you're all welcome, ladies. You know, there should be more men like me, I agree. But my thing is, I try to find ways to put it in practice that no one's ever thought of. No one's ever thought of. Because that's how I, you know, try to be a good woke feminist. And I want to tell y'all something before I go. I call the surgery a hysterectomy. I skipped the Women's March because I think women deserve all 12 months of the year. I Don't eat brie, because brie is a cheese named after a woman, and women are not here for my consumption. I only beat off the popular with women category on Pornhub. I guess that was a letdown after the other porn jokes, but my biggest one, the only man cave in my house is my asshole and my wife's done pegging me. I'll leave that with that. I'm Nate Pizzolato. Thank you so much for coming out. Give it up for Pat.